Welcome to Sip, Sell, Repeat, the real estate podcast for women who know success is best served with a great cup of coffee or a well-earned glass of wine. I'm Dr. Cynthia Tant, your go-to real estate expert, here to help you navigate the market with strategy, style, and a little bit of fun. Whether you're flipping your first property, scaling your portfolio, or just dreaming about your next big move, this is the place for you. So grab your drink of choice, settle in, and let's sip, sell, and repeat our way to success. Let's get started. Hello, everyone. I would like to thank you very much for coming on board to Sip, Sell, Repeat in Real Estate. And I am Dr. Cynthia Tant here in Pensacola, Florida. And I'm very excited for my guest today. It's Angelica Ventrice, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes,
All
you
right.
said it correctly.
And she is joining us from Maui. Is that correct?
Yep, Maui, Hawaii.
Hawaii. I'm in Pensacola, Florida. And the reason I'm really excited about this is my previous background before I got into real estate was I have a PhD in biomechanics. So dealt with a lot of things that you've done from the research science side of it and see how you've transformed your life from what you were doing before into the helping us real estate agents and professionals go through some transitions too. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started and
Sure.
to where you're at right now. How's that sound?
First of all, love the name of your show, Sip, Sell, and Repeat. I think it's so clever, so cute. So
Thank
I'm
you.
from Long Island, New York. I just hate the cold. So I went from New York to Cali and Cali to Maui. I'm a sun chaser. But many years ago, I had my own transformation journey. So I lost 40 pounds of weight myself. I come from a background in medical sales and pharmaceutical sales, which is why I really love working with realtors. It's that same type of driven hustle mentality, type A personalities usually want to make the money, love sales. And outside sales, right? Similar, like you guys go from house to house. I went from doctor's office to doctor's office, same thing, right? Live out of your car, literally might as well sleep in the trunk. So I totally understand that lifestyle. So I went through I know for me, I hit a certain point in my pharmaceutical sales career where I was doing really well. I was one of the number one reps in the United States, but I hit a point in my health where I felt like I couldn't go on anymore and none of my clothes fit. I felt exhausted. My skin was horrible, all the entertaining and just the grind of it. And I gained 40 pounds and I felt horrible. So I hired my first coach, had my entire life and weight loss journey. And that's when I decided to move into coaching. Something just hit me. Like maybe when you had your career change too, like something was like, I need to change. Like, I don't want to do medical sales anymore. I'm also very holistic in the way that I coach and in my relationship with food and nutrition, and pharmaceutical drugs really didn't align with me anymore. Yeah, I left the pharmaceutical world and started coaching, and it's really grown from just originally just fitness and nutrition into gut health and mindset and life coaching and business coaching. And it's really what I call identity shifting, because we're changing women at the core of who they are.
That's awesome. That's amazing because I know the grind. I left academia 25 years ago and have been in real estate for all this time. And when I think of it decades, I go, oh my gosh, I'm still surviving here. But let me ask you the first question. So, how does optimizing your health, especially like you just said, gut health, and
Yeah.
also stress management, help us experienced real estate professionals sustain this long-term
Make more
success and
money.
actually yeah, and to avoid the burnout, because
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware of NER, the national statistics
Yeah.
are the average realtor is a 55-year-old white woman with college education, and 42% of our realtors have 16 years or more experience. And as women, wow, moms, aunts, you name
Yeah.
it, that we've got,
Taking on everything.
they're
Yeah.
doing everything. So
Doing everything. Yeah, that's my clientele. They're
yeah.
realtors or they're lawyers or they're busy professional and they're mothers as well. So not only they're running their businesses or careers, they're running the household, then their partner's like another kid, then they're Uber drivers. They're basically like Uber drivers to their kids, taking them to all the sports. So totally understand. At the end of the day, I think a lot of women think, oh, if I just have to, if worrying about my health is one more thing on my plate. But health is not a luxury, it's a priority. And if you want to keep thriving in your career for years to come and you want to make more money, you need energy. You definitely don't want to have brain fog, right? You don't want to walk around feeling bloated all the time. And then there's obviously, as we get older, there's more illness. So the gut is the powerhouse. 70 to 80% of your immune system is located in your gut. Dopamine and serotonin are predominantly located in your gut. So if we're talking about mood, inflammation, brain fog, bloat, digestive issues. Like as a realtor, you need a high level of energy, right? And people are actually not buying the house, they're buying you. So if you don't feel good in your body, if you don't have good energy, if you're forgetting things and can't make decisions quickly or think of solutions on the spot because your brain is foggy, it's affecting your business. And it's really not a matter of, if your poor health will catch up to you, it's a matter of when. It really is. So you might not feel it now. You might think, okay, I'm just a little bloated. It's no big deal, but that's a sign. You might be like, I'm super tired and I crash at 3 p.m., but whatever, I'll just have another coffee or whatever. No, these are all warning signs that you're heading towards burnout. I think as high level professional women, especially high achieving, we sometimes wear the busy and the burnout as like a badge of honor, but it's not. It's a warning sign that your body is revolting against you, and that severe bloat, the fatigue, the migraines, your skin isn't glowy, your hair is falling out, the hormonal imbalances, like these are all signs and it needs to be taken seriously. And when you focus on your health, you actually make more time in your life because you have more energy. So you're able to do more. It's not taking away from anything. It's enhancing it. And you're able to, it's no surprise to me that all the realtors in my program make more money. It's a holistic health coaching program, unless they're doing one-on-one business coaching with me, but they're all making more money. Why is that?
And then, as you say, getting older and changing and trying to do all these multiple things, and myself with a 93-year-old mom as a caretaker doing that, it's like I noticed such a big difference when I left the athletic kind of sports oriented career that I was in and came into the real estate career. It was like, oh my gosh, like I was more health oriented back then, 25 years ago, than I ended up getting into a career where the people that, not bad people at all, the men I was hanging out with, just were a different breed, very motivated, but bad health habits. And
that's why I said I can relate to the motivation. I love working with highly motivated individuals. That's my favorite type of woman to work with. But we need to take the health into account to be thriving in all areas of your life. And to feel good. Like, why don't you want to feel good when you work? You want to feel good in your body.
And why are you making all this money when you feel like crap?
Right. Exactly. Thank you. All money in the world is useless if you're covering yourself up on your vacation or your honeymoon or whatever it is. If you're like uncomfortable in your skin, that's not fun. Like you're going to a nice tropical vacation and you're like uncomfortable in your skin. You can't wear the clothes you want to wear.
What do you feel? And again, all women professionals, and specifically the real estate field, because of you having probably many clients in the industry, are the biggest energy draining habits that we who have been doing this for maybe a long period of time either still do or we need to get out of? That's the main thing.
Yeah. I think first things first is boundaries, like saying no to certain things, whether that's saying no to certain events or just taking on too much. Draw a line in the sand. Like you don't need to go to every event or do everything. Like if you're feeling exhausted and burned out, boundaries. And then also just the lack, if we talk about energy draining, the lack of prioritization of any mental health. So what I mean is checking your phone first thing in the morning, scrolling on your phone before you go to bed, working on emails in your bed. There needs to be some type of stopping point for your brain to get some rest. So that way you feel energized and you have clarity. So I see a lot of agents and I work with them on this. I get it. Like I get you need to answer the phone maybe at all different hours if you're in the middle of a deal. I'm not saying that, but there does need to be a stopping point for you where 9 p.m. phone down. When you wake up in the morning, do you spend any time just like taking a few breaths, turning inward before you're glued to your phone like a maniac, just taking some time for you. And I hold workshops for realtors. And on the workshop, I do a 1-minute breathing exercise with them. 1 minute is enough to just calm your nervous system down. They say that's their favorite part of the workshop. And I'm like, this is something you could be doing every day, 3 times a day in your car for a minute, like actually focusing on just these little micro habits that will bring your cortisol down. So you're feeling so energetically drained because you're not doing any of these little habits that'll actually reverse the direction you're moving in, right? So it's like saying no more. Like I understand you have a lot of priorities and things to do, but you can say no more often. And slowing down, nervous system regulation. So not checking your phone first thing in the morning, not being on it till 10 o'clock at night, right before you go into bed. And just a simple box breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, a few times a day to calm your nervous system down, to get your body out of fight or flight.
Is that part that you're giving us these tips? Is that part of your system? What's it called? Yeah.
Is that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's part of
your program. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I was just like,
system.
I just lost the name. The name I just went off the top of my head, and I really did spend time to remember.
No, don't worry. There's no work. The program.
It's the brain fog. It's the brain fog.
No, you have brain fog. We need to work on your gut right now.
I do.
My
I had
program
to
is
have my
called
gallbladder out last year because of the issues.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, my program is called the Align Method, and that is part of it. We have a we have a breathwork coach. She does visualization, she does meditation. We have a trauma coach. I lead mindset coaching calls. We give different tools. We do gut healing protocols. So yeah, we do all this with our clients and we baby step it. Listen, if you're someone who's never meditated or never done any breathing, I'm not going to be like, meditate 30 minutes a day. You're going to be like, that's absolutely crazy. So it's baby stepping it out. Another simple thing you can do for your gut health is drinking warm lemon water in the morning, right? Stimulates bile, releases toxins. Too many women wake up and they go right to coffee or they go right to some form of caffeine. So it's not good for your nervous system or your body, causes bloat. So just like little things like that we teach our clients that are so easy. These are things that are so easy to do, just little shifts.
And sometimes the easiest ones are the ones we step over. Because
know.
we're so far looking for what's the next big thing I have to do? What do I have to put in my schedule? And how do we make that happen? I know I've learned through the years, it's really, as a broker, I've been trying to get my agents, guys and gals, to not be on the phone all the time. Set your boundaries and say,
Boundaries, say no,
yeah,
boundaries, exactly.
yeah.
Have
And
that
I think having an elderly mother where I have to stop my boundaries, and I just tell people, I said, my family's really important right now. Nobody's going to die in the house if I don't call you back in 30 minutes, kind of
That is
thing.
so true. That is so true. And I don't want to offend anyone by saying this, but you're realtors, you're not cardiac surgeons. It's going to be okay.
True.
I had a client that was literally on her deathbed in the hospital and felt so guilty that she was going to lose a deal, that she was in the hospital bed answering messages. Like, don't let that be you. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be okay. People will still want to work with you if you don't answer the call that second. I've heard crazy stories where I didn't answer the call and I lost the deal. And okay, that may happen. On to the next. Abundance. There's a million people out there. On to the
Yeah,
next.
that's what
If
I try to say too.
yeah, if someone doesn't respect your time, they don't respect you. On to the next. Don't
You
live in
know,
lack. I think another draining, and this is for anyone, is like living in lack, being so worried that they're going to lose a deal, that they can't close. If you
right.
live in lack, you're going to attract more of lack, and then that's very draining energetically for you.
Thank you for saying that, because I try to get that across to people doing some presentations throughout the years, many years of teaching, obviously, but just there is abundance out there. Don't
Yeah,
try to limit yourself just because you missed that phone call. And
exactly.
usually, from prior experience, if you finally do get a hold of that person, it wasn't a good one anyways.
Rejection is protection, okay? Rejection is protection.
Move on. And that is one of the hardest things to, from a business development standpoint. I know you also do the business development standpoint. What may be something that it's a mindset shift.
Mindset.
I understand that. And a lot of people do also understand that. But what is something that, from the business standpoint, that you feel you could say to that realtor? Again, I'm going to shift a little bit to a younger realtor. I have some younger gals right now in their late 20s
Yeah.
that are just getting into the business. And it's a different world today than it was when I started 25 years ago. And so they're up against a lot of different things that are going on, technology.
But that's also so exciting for them too. Like, they can utilize technology that you guys didn't have. You didn't have YouTube, you didn't have Instagram, you didn't have Reels, you didn't
No.
have. So what I would say to that young realtor is, you want strategic tips or mindset, or
Yes.
both?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, strategic. Yeah.
Strategic, I would say get on video, because at the end of the day, it is a crowded market and people need to see and feel your energy. So get on video, whether it's YouTube video, Instagram lives, not just a video of you. Okay, I'm showing the home. Here's the kitchen. Here's the no, that's not personality. What makes the home unique? What makes you unique? And really tapping into your unique sales energy. You really need to know what makes you unique, no matter what industry you're in. Nutrition coaching, real estate. Why is someone going to choose you over someone else? And who's your ideal client, right? Just like I work specifically with busy professional women, realtors, lawyers, right? Like I have a reason for that. So who do you want to work with? New home buyers, elderlies, relocation, commercial, horse, like whatever. There's what's your niche and why, and who's your ideal client and why. And make sure that you have a unique brand. Don't just blend in. If you're working for a firm, like I have a lot of clients that work for Keller Williams or whatever it is, but you're still a subset. You still have your own unique brand. So what makes you unique? That would be the first thing I would focus on. What makes me unique?
I think that's great advice. I don't know how many times I have told the same thing you just did. Yet, what do? They'll go take a deal, or they'll take a call that is not anyone that they should be talking to. or
Yeah.
anyone that they should be sharing with, or going after a listing that they have no, but they got to learn. Sometimes it's learning the hard way. I hate to
So
say
you have to
that.
learn, yeah, learning the hard way for sure. And then
Yeah.
also the mindset piece, I will speak to it, is who are you being on this journey? Whether you are a new realtor or a seasoned realtor, seasons change, things change, and it's not always about how. It's not always about the strategies like the YouTube video and the Instagram and the photos or whatever. It was like, who am I being? Am I being someone that is abundant and trusts that the universe is providing and knows that if I don't close this deal, there's more to come? Or am I being someone who is worried and anxious and feels like there's too much competition and this isn't, what's your energy on a daily basis around it? We all have bad days, but do you have energy regulation practices?
And the other thing I've tried, and I'm sure you do this with your coaching also, is who are you hanging around?
Oh yeah, of course.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Who's in
I
your
mean,
circle? Especially for those young realtors, it's hard for them. But we're older, so for us, it's easy to snip people out. I'll just snip you. I don't like your
yeah,
energy. But when you're younger, it's harder. I get it. But yeah,
yeah,
who you're hanging out with, your circle matters for sure. For
yeah.
sure.
It just, I had a young gal that I was just meant, she was going to be so good and everything, but just, she could not get away from the crowd she was hanging around with. And she just couldn't make it happen. And I felt so bad because it was just like, look, and we went through, oh my gosh, unbelievable amount of times of coaching and, okay,
Wow.
let's look at where we're going and let's plan this. But she was stuck with her group
Yeah.
and she's,
When she gets older, she'll look back and be like, "Oh, I see now." But some people, I do believe life gives us lessons, and it's
oh,
happening. It's happening for us, so it happened for her that it had to happen that way, and she'll learn.
what do you feel as you start when you're talking to other women in the field and industry, what kind of questions do you want them to answer for you to see if you're a good fit for them? Did I just say
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
To see if they're a good
Yeah.
fit for my
Around
coaching.
or yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. So basically you're saying, what do I look for in a potential client?
Correct. For
Yeah.
you, for your business, for
A long-winded way of
yeah,
asking. So
yeah.
what I look for is someone who's highly motivated. Obviously, someone who is doing well in their career. Our program it's an investment. It's not like some cookie cutter mom and pop $30, like
Right,
it's not a
right.
fitness and nutrition plan. So I'm looking for someone who wants to go beyond just fitness and nutrition. They really want to thrive in their career. They want to thrive in their life. They want to thrive in their bodies. So I'm not looking for someone to just come to me to say, yeah, just get me in shape for summer. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm really looking for someone who wants to transcend and have a life transformation. Yes, we do body transformation as part of our program, but we also do gut health. We do mindset work. We do healing. We do trauma work. So it's someone who wants to excel and thrive in all areas of their life. The body is the portal. I do believe that. We live in our bodies. Our bodies are our home, but they also want to do the mindset work too. And look for high achievers. Like I
Yeah,
specifically know if you're listening, but I specifically don't work with stay-at-home moms. I'm not, and I don't work with a lot of teachers because I want women who want to grow in their careers. A lot of
right.
my coaching is focused on how do you thrive in your body? How do you thrive in your business or career to help them get to the next level? So my clients are either getting promotions or they're selling more houses, right? Or they're closing more deals, whatever it is centered to help you thrive in your body and your business or career. So someone who's maybe just a teacher or someone who stays at home, it's not the same type of energy as me and you. It's a different type
Right.
of energy. So it's an energetic thing when I'm speaking to someone about my program for sure.
And you have your ideal client for you. And so you know where you're going. When we're looking at it from a real estate perspective, again, going back and saying, okay, I'm going to change for what do you think is I don't think it would be an age that you go by of a person's age. It's more of who they are right at their stage of life and career. Is that
Who they
kind of
are,
where,
yeah, I think who they are at their
right?
stage in life, because you could have a new home buyer that's 40, or you could have a new home buyer that's 25, but you like the thrill or the idea of working with people who it's purchasing their first home that's very
Yeah,
special, or you're a relocation. So I think it's where they are in their life for sure. And what excites you? I had a client, she's working more now with horse estates, but she just came to this revelation in her coaching. She realized she was very unhappy just doing like the everyday kind of real estate. And she has a horse, she loves horses, and through her coaching, it dawned on her like, oh, wow, this is the direction I want to move in. So what lights you up? Are there do you like, does commercial light you? I don't know. Everyone's different. So what excites you? Because when it excites you, you're going to excel at it.
oh, I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard in this profession. And again, cycles.
Yeah.
It's, oh my gosh, 2005 and six, anybody who could breathe was a realtor and they could make a fortune. And then, of
Yeah.
course, the downswing in 7, 8, 9, and it was just like there, everybody scattered. So we go through these people. So a lot of us are still around.
But if you're good, you know what I mean? If you're good, right? Because what are the statistics? The average realtor sold what? How many homes last year?
Oh, two,
One,
five, five,
two.
five,
It's
not
like
very
less,
many.
less
Yeah.
than four. It's like one or
Yeah.
four, two or four.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. It's bad. But the
Yeah.
women in the program far succeeded that. So I think it's, if you're good, and that goes back to, if you focus on your mindset and your health and your energy, you're going to thrive a lot more than the realtors who are burnt out and stressed out, running around with their heads cut off, not taking care of themselves.
Or like a few that I know are just still 80 years old. I said, but why are you still doing this? I got to for the money. I go, what did you do the first 50 years?
Wow, that's I have never met an 80-year-old realtor, but I guess they
Oh,
really.
no. We have one. She's like well known in our area. She's 80 years
Oh,
old. And it's just like, why are you still doing this?
my God. I
I
mean,
told somebody,
I love coaching, but when I'm 80, I better just be laying on the beach here in Maui,
well,
like sunning myself.
that's what I said. And I'm a little older right now too. And I said my birthday, I had a big birthday party on Sunday, but
Oh, happy
clients
birthday.
and stuff came. Thanks. And so I said, if I'm still doing this, because I'm 68, I said, if I'm still doing
Oh,
this in 2 more
okay.
years, I said, just shoot me.
What's your cutoff? You obviously enjoy it. What's your cutoff?
No, I do enjoy it. And I still get to travel. I take care of myself. I still get to
Yeah.
travel. So I enjoy it because everybody says, what are you going to do when you retire? I said, every time I travel, I talk about real estate. Okay. And in Punta Cana, but 3 years ago, I started talking real estate. People that I met ended up buying a house here in Pensacola
There you
and
go.
became an Airbnb. And because I do Airbnbs and long-term
Yeah,
rentals too.
us too.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and I said, so every time I'm sitting somewhere when I'm traveling, I'm talking to people about it,
Yeah, it's
you
in
know?
your blood. Like coaching is
Yeah.
in my, we'll always talk about it, but I think there comes a point. Anyway, that's that
Yeah.
80-year-old, whatever she wants to do, but God bless
Yeah,
her.
I know. That's so. How can the ladies that are listening to us right now? How can they get in touch with you through you and to be able to see if they are interested in your program of coaching and just find out some more about you?
Yeah, so just go to my Instagram. You can send me a message. It's Angelica, my name, Ventrice.
Right.
And I have free gut healing guide, a reset your metabolism masterclass if you wanted to start there. If you're like ready to go, you want to learn more about my program, we just hop on a discovery call. So there's a link in my Instagram, the first link, and you can just apply. It's a short consult form. And then when we receive it, we'll reach out for a call. Super simple.
Okay. And I did
Connect with
look
me. Yeah.
yeah, I looked on your website with your team. I'm a huge believer in team. And
Yes.
too many realtors try to do it on their own and they just can't. And I
Me.
learned very young, or in my career, I should say, I learned very young that I'm going to have an assistant. Like I had an assistant transaction, they were called assistants back then, but transaction coordinators now,
Yeah.
that even though I wasn't making as much money, I didn't want to do paperwork. Oh my
No,
God, I still don't want to do paperwork.
delegation, I would say one thing we didn't add with the activities that are draining. If there's things that are draining you,
Yes.
you could find someone to pay as long as it's a comfortable amount of a rate for you, but you'll free yourself up for more things that are going to help you grow your business. If you're doing a lot of paperwork, you can, and you hire someone to do that, you can then spend time on video, building a YouTube channel or making more videos of the home, whatever you're doing, that it's going to help it's a needle moving activity in your business.
And I think too that a lot of, again, solo real estate agents who are trying to do it all with family and everything else, and mom and kids are going here and everything else, is that they're working so much in their business versus on their business that they can't get over that threshold or get ahead. And then
Exactly.
they just crash and burn,
They burn out. Exactly. So
Yeah.
I always say, write the things that are like draining you, that are not your area of expertise and that don't light you up, and start to give them away slowly. Not all at once, but if there's something that you could give away, baby steps.
I think the craziest thing that I've experienced in this and mentoring younger people is that they can't see past the dollar, the small dollar signs for the big.
Yeah,
Like
I
what
know.
is your time worth to you? And if you are where we do have sip, sell, repeat, where we have some wine, but if you're at happy hour every day,
Yeah. And what is your time worth? And also zooming out, like when you own a business, which realtors essentially, they're entrepreneurs,
yeah,
you have to take, any entrepreneur, you take some hits along the way to grow in the long run. When I first started my business, I had to make quite a large investment that I didn't have the money, but I used my credit card because I saw where it was going to take me. Sometimes you just have to do that and
So
trust.
your previous career, pharmaceutical sales, is that what you did initially when you first started? And so that had to be like, a friend of mine she's a district manager for somewhere, and
Oh.
she's all over the place, traveling everywhere.
There's a lot of travel, but district managers probably travel more. But my territory was all of Long Island. So I was driving all over Long Island, which people don't know, it's pretty big, right? You can
Yeah.
like away from one close to the city to the Hamptons. So it's pretty big. And then a lot of events, and it was draining, but I liked it. And I liked how much money I was making. I liked my team and I liked it. But it just came a point where after I lost that weight, I had that, I call it an awakening. Something was just like, no, you're meant for more. You're meant to help other women. And I really haven't looked back.
And how long ago was that you made your decision?
14 years ago.
Great. And you haven't looked back?
Nope. I just
Nope.
look forward, moving to
Just
the
look
next
forward.
thing, the next thing. Yeah. So I started, and maybe I could even come to you guys. I held what's called a Healthy Hustle workshop, where
Okay.
I hold a workshop for either realtors or professional women. And men can attend as well, but it's how to really thrive in your career without burning out. So I give like tactical strategies. It's like an hour and 15-minute workshop. We do, like I said, we do a little meditation in it, and it's been really well received. So I was in Salt Lake City. I did one in San Diego. I just held 2 virtual ones last week, but I'll send you the info.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to,
Yeah.
because I'm a former president of the Women's Council of Realtors.
Yeah.
And we have a very active association here. And actually, for Pensacola, we're the #1 in the country for
Oh.
a small area.
Amazing.
We can't compete with New York and stuff, but for a smaller area.
Yeah.
But in the state, in the whole country, we win all the awards.
That's
So
amazing. Okay, yeah. Well, I'll connect after.
yeah,
I'll
we'll
send you my
connect.
address. I'll send you my address for the cup, and then we'll email back and forth. Perfect.
That sounds
Okay.
like a plan. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us? I am so thankful and appreciative of you sharing this information with us. Is there anything else you want to tell the folks that are for listening to us today?
No, I think we covered a lot. I would say just these little micro things, like start your morning with some warm lemon water.
Yep, I like
Give you
that.
moments to breathe during the day. Don't be on your phone the second you wake up and the second before you go to sleep. Those are like 3 simple things that you can do immediately to just start to shift your energy.
All right. Thank you so much.
That's a wrap on this episode of Sip, Sell, Repeat. If you loved what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another powerhouse woman in real estate. Got a topic you want me to cover? Send me a message. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep sipping, keep selling, and keep repeating that cycle of success. Cheers to you and your next big deal.